All right, so here's what the package looks like. GAMVAR Varnish by Gamblin. I am applying it to my panels and canvases using a brush that's meant for stain. This is a 2-inch brush. It's, what is it? Valspar. It's nothing fancy. It's kind of the Lowe's brand brush, but it's pretty smooth. Like the bristles are really nice and fine, so it's good for applying. It's supposed to be for applying stain, but it does create a nice coat. What I'm doing is I'm pouring some of this GAMVAR into a little plastic container, and then I'm applying it. So the application process is pretty simple. And then as far as cleaning the brush, if you use it exclusively for GAMVAR, just, you know, have a varnishing brush. They say you don't even need to clean the brush. You just squeeze out the excess or just kind of blot it out on paper towel or whatever, or old rag. Yesterday I did some varnishing, and then I just did what they said, and this morning came out, brush is still really soft, and so that's kind of a surprise. This is a little bottle. Let's see how many ounces. It's like 4.2 fluid ounces, and I have done probably 20 something paintings with this, fairly large too. Yeah, I think I've done about maybe 25 paintings, and I've still got half a bottle left. So you want to go on really thin with it. I'm going to show you an application in a second here, but I just kind of wanted to talk about varnishing a bit. A lot of times what'll happen with paintings is there will be areas that will go flat, especially like dark areas can kind of look sort of chalky or flat. And so by adding a varnish to it, and this is a gloss varnish as well, when you add that gloss varnish, it oftentimes it'll kind of bring the darks to life and make them seem deeper and richer. This does take about 24 hours to dry. One thing that I've noticed is there are certain areas on the painting that you will not get good coverage, and for whatever reason the GAMVAR will bead up and you're not able to get like a uniform gloss coverage, in which case what I do is I take like a soft cloth, like an old t-shirt, and then I just kind of wipe over the whole painting, and it knocks down the shine. It's not going to be as shiny as it would be if you had gotten just good coverage, but with the t-shirt it kind of knocks it down, and it's not as apparent that certain areas are kind of flat. I think overall, even on those paintings, and I can't figure out why some paintings bead up in areas and others don't. I typically stick with one type of medium when I paint all the way through, so I'll use like a traditional linseed stand oil medium, or I'll use liquid, and it doesn't seem to, I'm not really sure, because it seems to happen more, the beading happens more with the traditional medium. So I don't really know. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's not a big deal. Even with the light, you know, the light coat of varnish, when I've wiped it down, it looks better than not varnishing at all. This was a painting that was that I painted down in Bakersfield at a plein air event, and so it doesn't have any varnish on it because I just painted it and it went to the event. Just picked it up for the show, the upcoming show in San Francisco at Studio Gallery, and so now I'm going to apply some varnish to this, but I don't want to take it out of the frame, so I'm going to just tape the edges. All right, so I'm just using some masking tape here. And this bottom part here, I definitely don't want to get any varnish on this, because it would make the black inside of the frame shiny, and that would not be good. Probably not going to take much to do this whole thing. So I'm just pouring very little in. Well, maybe I'll go a little more. All right, let's go. See what happens. Okay, I'm not actually noticing that much difference on this one, although it is giving it kind of a uniform shine, which is nice. Now, the other purpose of varnish is to protect the painting. The liquid, when you use that as your medium, the painting already when it dries, it has a certain level of shine to it already. And I would assume that the paint film with liquid is pretty tough. It's pretty strong stuff. You guys probably can't see it, but it does, I think it does look better. There is like a nice sort of shine over it, but it was kind of flat before. I lucked out, didn't get any beading up on this one at all as far as I can tell. So, looks good. All right, so I've got some drying right here. Oh, you can kind of see the shine. Let's see, can you see the shine? Yeah, you can kind of see the shine on there. But anyway, there's 3 drying right there. All right, and then once they're varnished, I just set them in their frames and let them dry. So I've got a bunch here, and there's a couple more right here. All right, one thing I noticed about GAMVAR is it doesn't really have a strong odor. It doesn't seem to be like super toxic smelling anyway. So, and I know Gamblin they try to have really safe products, but yeah, I've noticed it's not really, like working with it. I can't even smell anything really, which is great, because the other varnish that I use, which is like a spray retouch varnish, it actually warns on the can that that it causes cancer, and then also it's got a turpentine base, so it's so strong. Even outdoors, it's like I hold my breath when I spray it. So I'm trying to get away from that stuff, and that's why I wanted to experiment with the GAMVAR. It should be dry in 24 hours, I guess, depending on the weather and depending on how thin of a coat. If you've got a thicker coat, it can take longer to dry. Varnishing paintings is something that causes a lot of confusion and anxiety, and I understand that. I definitely, varnishing for me, and trying this new stuff was like, how's it gonna work? You've got a finished painting that you're happy with, that you've worked really hard on, and now you're gonna like apply this varnish to it. Can be really nerve-wracking. Another thing I'll mention about this is it's very easy to remove it, apparently. It says on the label that just take some odorless mineral spirits and a soft rag, and you can just remove it easily. So there's really nothing to fear. If it doesn't work out, just take it off. So anyway, I just want to check in with you guys, share the varnishing process. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. I will see you guys soon in the next video.